Hi guys, it's Grace with Grace Gets Gastric, and I am here today for a video on my experience with laser hair removal. So I have had a number of people request this video. I know, again, it's not weight loss surgery related or weight loss or health or anything like that, but it was one of my rewards for hitting one of my weight milestones, and I know I was super curious about it before I got it, and a lot of you are clearly curious about it as well. I know, especially because so many of us in the community have experiences or issues with PCOS, which often causes very thick hair growth, particularly in the facial region. It's obviously something that a lot of us are very interested in. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my experience. So I have had laser hair removal, and I've had it basically from here to here. So kind of like my chin and then my neck area. Unfortunately, I don't have pictures because I didn't take pictures beforehand, and it's kind of hard to take pictures now, but I'll tell you kind of how it all went. So I did my my deal through Groupon. So there's a lot of laser hair removal deals on Groupon, so I would recommend checking that out for your area. Usually it'll be like 6 sessions as part of the deal, and for mine at least, there was different prices depending on if it was a small, medium, or large area. So this was considered a medium area. Things like your lip, upper lip, would be a small area. So that's just something to keep in mind. I originally thought that this would be a small area, but they said it was medium. I was fatter back then. It was up towards the beginning of my journey, so I think I just had a lot more volume of my neck. So medium, but c'est la vie. I believe my deal was about $350 for 6 sessions, and then I've done additional sessions since then, and my clinic has charged me like the Groupon rate. So for each individual session, I've only paid $30 for each one. So like I said, I had the 6 sessions, and then I just had my 5th session, and I think I'm good for now. I think we've kind of got most of what we're going to get. I think that we could continue to do it. I might have a little bit incremental progress, but I think at this point, because the ones on Groupon are often, if you live in a city, a little bit outside of the city, they're trying to attract people. So it's kind of a little bit of a trek, and I'll talk about this later, but the appointments are really quick. So it's just really, at this point, I'm happy with the results, and it's not really worth it for me to keep going, but I do plan to go regularly-ish for maintenance. So to start, preparation. So my original appointments, my first appointment was just a consult, so we didn't do anything there. We just talked about what I wanted done, where I wanted it done, and then she kind of told me what to expect and how to prepare. Each place will probably go over this with you and have maybe their own rules, regulations, etc. But the kind of key things are, for whatever area you have to stop plucking and or waxing the area for the entire duration of the process. So I started doing this about 11 months ago, and I have not plucked or waxed at all this area since then. To be fair, I didn't ever pluck or wax this area to begin with. I mostly just shaved it. So that is what you'll have to do, is just shaving in between while it gets to work. You also want to, right before the session, so they say like at least 24 hours before, you'll want to do a close shave of the area to really get the hairs, right at the surface, but, like kind of blunt. And it's just the shorter they are, the easier for the laser to just get them. There are some medications that can have some issues or side effects. I wasn't on any medications that they were any concerns with. I do want to say there's some potential issues with birth control. I am not taking any like birth control, so that wasn't an issue, but that is something, again, you'll want to talk over if you're on any kind of medication or supplement. And then you'll want to make sure that you're very well protecting that area from the sun. So you shouldn't have any sunburns, no tanning, basically don't mess with that skin in that area. Not a huge deal for me. But it is helpful for some people, especially if you're getting an area done that's regularly exposed, like this area, or if you're getting your arms done, to do it during the winter months, where you might not be out tanning. And then as far as like right before the appointment, like I said, you want to shave. And then if you're not getting your face area done, you'll want to make sure you're wearing kind of loose clothing, clothing that you can kind of easily expose the body part. Your skin will be a little bit tender afterwards, so you might not want something that's like very tight and that's like gonna rub against the area. So if like you're getting your legs done, for example, I wouldn't wear like tight pants. I'd wear something like more loose fitting. And then if you are getting, well, anywhere you don't want any product on your face or on the area. So don't put lotion on, don't put makeup on the area, all of that kind of thing. So for the actual appointment itself, it's honestly very quick. For me, again, I'm getting a fairly small area done as well, but the whole thing from like walking into the clinic to walking out is like 5 to 7 minutes, unless I have to like wait a minute for my appointment to like come up. But they cover the whole area with this like clear gel. They kind of take like a popsicle stick kind of thing and like smooth the area with this like cool clear gel. And then they give me sunglasses and then usually a stress ball to squeeze. And then they have this like little, you know, laser device. It's like a handheld device that's like, I don't know, like that big. And they just go in like strips, kind of like shaving. They just kind of take it. There's like a very low hum, and you can kind of hear and sometimes feel when it's like zapping the hairs. It hurts. It's not excruciating, but it does hurt. And I am also a huge baby when it comes to pain. So if I can get through it, you can get through it. And to be fair, this area is fairly sensitive on me and a lot of people. It's just like very thin skin. It kind of feels like somebody snapping a hot rubber band on your skin. If you've ever had someone like snap a rubber band on you, it's sort of like that kind of feeling. It's sort of like a zap, and it's really what hurts is like when it's catching on those hairs. You know, it's kind of lasering them away. So you can feel it. You can sometimes hear the like snap, which is really kind of weird, the pop. Sometimes you can smell it a bit, like a little bit by like burnt hair. Not overwhelming or like by any means. It's just sometimes you can, and particularly if there's longer hairs, I think is even worse. So she really just runs each area pretty much just once. She might go through and spot check and pulse on particular areas where they can see that there is denser hair or hair is still growing. And so this is all information that they've told me, so I don't know if this is true for everywhere. I've only gone to this one place. But they turn up the laser a little bit each time to like get a little bit more. So, you know, as you become more, as your skin, you know, hair thins out, they're kind of turning up the heat. So I did find in some cases that it got a little bit more painful. Again, nothing that I couldn't handle. I don't take any kind of painkiller or anything like that. It's really just, it's quick. Like I said, you're in the chair for just a couple of minutes if you're doing a very small area. So I just squeeze the shit out of that stress ball and kind of grit my teeth through it. Afterwards, I did experience a little bit of redness and some tenderness to the touch. Really not that bad for me, and it went away, like usually would be gone within an hour, the redness, and then the tenderness would just be like a couple of hours maybe, and really not very tender, just a little bit. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, not too bad. Your mileage may vary depending on how sensitive your skin is, but you can expect a little bit of tenderness, some redness, maybe a little bit of like bumpiness. And then mine would always put like a sunscreen on over as soon as they'd finished, you know, so that it's just extra protected, because after those sessions, immediately after the sessions, your skin is pretty like I said, tender and a little bit more susceptible to burning and to the sun. So that's one of the reasons why you really want to make sure you're really doing a good job of protecting it, using sunscreen, covering the area up during these, while you're having these sessions. So in terms of kind of like efficacy, it is the most effective on like thick, coarse, dark hair. So it was very effective for me because my hair down here was very thick, dark, like stiff, kind of like, I don't know, eyebrow hair almost. I mean, you know, it was beard hair. Charming. But I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys dealt with the same thing. You deal with the same thing. So it's the most effective there. If you have a lot of just like really fine, thin baby hair, pale, it's really not going to do a lot for that. And so that's just something to keep in mind, you know. It's really the most effective on those kind of thick hairs because the laser can like see them. I would go, so like I said, I've been doing it for about the past almost a year now. I've gone 11 times. So for the first about 6 or 7 times, I believe, I would go every 4 weeks. And then we switched to every 6 weeks to see if I got kind of like a different growth cycle. If I wanted to go back now, if I wanted to keep going, it would be like every 2 months at this point. So, you know, you go fairly regularly, and the hair is not completely 100% gone, at least not for me. And I don't know how best, you know, I don't know if it's like all the dark hairs are gone and now what's left are just the baby hairs, but there's no more of that thick, dark, coarse hair. That's all completely gone. And all I have are like, I do have some hair here, but it's all very fine and very pale to the point where like I feel no need, I don't need to shave it. I don't need to wax it. I don't need to pluck it. Like to me, it's not noticeable. Whereas before I had this done, I was like shaving my face. Basically, if I went more than like 2 days without shaving it, it was pretty dark and noticeable. So I was doing that like every single day basically. And now the only time I've been shaving it has been right before my appointment. It's pale enough and light enough that it's easily concealed. Like, you know, I foundation my face, but even when I don't, it's not visible, you know, like it's just sort of, it's lighter than arm hair, that kind of stuff. That didn't bother me. What I wanted to do was get rid of the very dark hair, beard hair on my chin and neck. So I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything. The general process. I loved it. I am super happy with getting it done. It's saved me so much time. It saved me so much emotional and physical energy. It was something that I was really self-conscious about. And that, you know, it's like if I forgot to do it a few days and I would catch sight, it was just something I felt kind of embarrassed by. And I would totally, in a heartbeat, do it again. I don't know if I'd get anywhere else done, only because I don't know that for me, there is anywhere else that was so self-conscious about that it would warrant that time, commitment, and price. Like you could get your, like the only thing like underarms, but that's such an easy thing for me to do in the shower. Like I don't mind spending like 2 seconds doing that in the shower. Legs would be one that would just be a huge time saver, but because they are such a large area, it'd be a lot more expensive. And so I don't know that I'm really willing to pay the money and deal with like the pain and the time for that large of an area. But that would be one that I might consider doing. I do have a little bit of upper lip hair that I do shave, but I don't know that the hair is super dark and coarse enough, again, to make it worth it. But that would probably be the one other area I would consider doing, because it's like on my face. But you can get your whole body done, and people do that. So yeah, I hope that I answered your questions for those of you who were interested and curious about laser hair removal. If you have any other specific questions, I am happy to answer them in the comment section down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that I mostly do weight loss content, but I am a full person with other things in my life, and I am really more than happy to share that stuff with you if you guys are interested. So if there are any other videos or topics you would like me to discuss or cover, or things you'd like to see me do on this channel, please do let me know. I want to make sure I'm making videos that people actually want to watch. And in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the little bell button, leave leave me a comment, and I hope you guys are all doing well. I will talk to you all very soon.